Hey everyone, this is a replay of me taking the Shchors on a northern route. I have done a recording of this route before, but this time it's going to be slightly different and a little more aggressive. Now keep in mind, this is a patch 8.6 replay, and at the time you're watching now, it's likely patch 8.7, if not later. So while the ship spawns are going to be the same,
Warship commanders, provide cover for the transport ship.
the distances and the speeds they go will be slightly different. Here I'm looking back and forth to avoid running into other ships while I'm trying to cross the fleet. Now, one thing to keep in mind with doing the northern route, one of the key thing you need is to get yourself here to be ready for attacking when wave 3 spawns, which is the Dallas, the Meal, Bertin, and the Emerald. The wave after this one. And you will see in a moment why that is. I'm going to speed it up a little bit now. And with the second wave done, the third wave is about to spawn. You'll see I have loaded AP shells. And the reason why this spot is so nice is you get good broadside shots to get citadel hits. Like that. And then when you get into the island cover right here, you can go undetected or just avoid being shot at in return.
All forces, attack the onshore installation.
With the Shchors, fast shells and good penetration, you'll see I've gotten citadel hits on the Dallas, the Meal just now, and also now on the Emerald. So this is a very ideal spot to use if you're taking a Shchors or a Lazo. And at this time, I've had as much as 80,000 damage on the counter. If you're not sure what I'm saying here, I'm telling the battleship to kill the Fort Squire, as Fiji only has AP. And it can only really damage forts from an effective range of about 8 kilometers or less. Now if you're a little faster, you can get some shots at the Missouri, but you want to make sure that its guns are turned elsewhere and not paying attention to you if you want to do that. Also from this area, you have shots at the Lexington, like I did there. You have easy shots on Fort Earl. The one problem you're going to encounter is this Dallas, which is often sitting in this spot, and it likes to take shots at you and annoy you. Now, one thing keep in mind, I'm here to take out the Lexington aircraft carrier and its scouts, and its escorts. So, to avoid getting torpedoed, I point my bow in toward the island, keeping a good distance. And if you see here, I'm checking the overall map to check the smoke. You see the smoke ends good distance before the island, so I know the Nicholas is going to stay inside. The only exception being if a ship pushes into the 10 line, it'll pull the Nicholas north. As you can see, it did stay inside. Now you'll see the Dallas is shooting at me again. Just be aware of this. And in the meantime, I'm just taking shots at the fort while I wait for the aircraft carrier to show up. The last replay I used to feature this route, the Phoenix took a long time after the Lexington to show up. But that's not the case here. This is much more normal, where the Phoenix shows up right behind the Lexington. Now at this distance, the Lexington, with no planes active and the secondaries not having enough range, your priority target is the Phoenix. You want to eliminate that as fast as possible.
All enemy transport ships were destroyed.
And once the Phoenix is gone, you can sink the Lexington at your leisure. Now this replay, I call it the aggressive northern route, because instead of heading in the safe way from this entrance, instead I go down through the north side, and the advantage of that is you get broadside shots on all the ships spawning in the southeast. Just keep in mind, you'll often end up being
Attention, enemy forces.
targeted by multiple of them.
Ship commanders, provide cover for the transport ships. Destroy all enemy warships.
Авианосец противника уничтожен.
Speed up a little bit.
Clear the base zone of enemy ships.
Now, with 8.7, keep in mind that the routes of some of these spawning ships have changed. Like the Breton now goes north of the island, and so does the Gallant. But regardless, you still get broadside shots on basically every ship coming through here. Being in this spot, as you can see, all these ships are broadside, and you can get easy kills on, say, this gallant.
Вражеский эсминец уничтожен.
This is the convoy commander. Our troops are starting to land.
Пожарная тревога. Неполадки устранены.
Now, normally, being in this spot will make you the target of a lot of the ships. This time was a little unusual.
Крейсер врага потоплен.
And yes, I did do basically 11,000 damage to the Queen Elizabeth. Using AP shells on a battleship's casemate right above the Citadel armor can net you a lot of damage. With the Queen Elizabeth about to die, that's pretty much the game. If you have any questions on how to do this, let me know. You can feel free to watch the other replay where I show this off. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Oh, and most of the time, don't expect to survive. So keep that in mind. Watch your teammates, and don't be the last alive.